Hello. This is a test of the emergency broadcast bullshit den of nerds technical difficulties broadcast system. Hello. Do you hear my voice parts? Hello. Can you hear me? Everything's terrible. Why does the audio sound better? Don't say that shit to me. Don't you fucking say that shit to me. I mean, okay, cool. Hey, all good. We're having a good stream. We're all gonna have a good stream today. It's all good. It's all good. We're gonna have a good ass fucking time today. Okay, here's the thing, guys. Here's what's going on. Okay, a couple of things going on here. And also, why is this like this? What is happening, dude? I hate change! Why is there change? I don't want any change. Okay, here's... Audio does sound better. Just keep it to yourself, please. Thank you. It's been a good morning. We're off to a great start. So here's the thing, guys. What the fuck's going on with the frame rate in this goddamn camera? Okay, this doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Does it look... I've been trying to fix this for like 2 days. I've been trying to fix this shit for 2 days. Okay? I plugged in all this extra shit yesterday because I got like the camera over here because we were gonna paint some Warhammer yesterday. Well, that didn't fucking work. And let me turn this down a little bit. It does feel like it's peaking a little bit. Okay. Audio is great. Visual is fucked. Yeah. Lower the ISO. Are you deadass that if I lower the ISO, it might fix this problem? There's no way, because it doesn't look like this on the camera. The camera doesn't have this problem. This is a problem with the interface. This is the cord, which I'm so fucking pissed. I think what I'm gonna have to do, and I can't believe we're gonna have to do this. I am furious that this is what it is, but I'm gonna have to take this camera in to fix it, and we're gonna have to go back to a shitty camera for a couple of weeks while I get this other camera fixed. And I am furious about it. Like, I don't understand why. It could be the cord. It could be the cord. I'm sick of trying shit, man. I'm sick of trying shit. I've tried every fucking thing I can think of. And it could be the cord. Because technically, I guess there's, like, you could get, like, a 60 hertz cord. This is, like, a 30 hertz cord. But I don't know, man. This is so fucking stupid. I'm so fucking pissed. Looks fine. You recorded video on a SD card? No, I don't record a video on an SD card. I record it on I plug it in via the thing. Look, the truth of the matter is you guys probably don't even care that much, and you probably don't even notice that much, but I am extremely ADHD, and I am incredibly particular, and I just want it the way that I want it. And I can't fucking do my job is already hard enough. This job is already hard enough. Don't get me started, chat. Don't get me started. I don't want to have to think about this stupid, silly bullshit. So, yeah. Very, very frustrating week over here. Yeah, I paid a lot of money for the camera, actually. A lot of money. Yeah, and to be honest with you, like, I thought about not streaming because, look, the reality is, like, technical issues are one of the things that frustrate me the most. And I'm just not in a good mood. I'm not in a good mood. I'm not in a good chill ass mood today. I'd rather actually just break everything in the room. You know what I mean? Like, really rational, super adult thing to do. I'd rather break everything in the room like some kind of fucking Viking on a trip about to go into battle. Like, I just want to fucking rage and break everything that's in front of me. But of course we won't do that. You know what I mean? But yeah. You could do audio only and I'd still tune in. Thank you, Piatti. Appreciate you. Anyways, guys, we're going to do a short stream today. We got a couple of things to talk about, and then we're going to get the fuck out of here. And I'm going to work on this problem. Probably will still have a stream tonight. Probably will. I can't promise anything. But we'll probably still have a stream tonight. I'm probably just going to switch it to the other camera. Take this one in, pay hundreds upon hundreds of dollars to get it fixed. And be very furious the entire time. So that's currently the plan. Yeah, short stream. Even if you go off on me, I appreciate you, Josh. Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah. Anyways, how are you guys doing? You guys got to be doing good. There's got to be good stuff going on out there. Are you guys okay? As an OCD carpenter that's only been doing tile for a fucking month, I get it, bro. Nerd Avengers for life. Happy birthday. Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it. I smell a band coming. No, I'm going to try to be real chill, man. I'm going to try to be as chill as I possibly can. You know, at the end of the day, it's a test. It's a test that I'm not necessarily passing with flying fucking colors, if you haven't noticed, but it is a test. I am trying to be chill about it. But yeah, you know, I don't want to deal with it anymore. I'm going to just go get it repaired. You know, I've been trying to make this other way work, and it is foolish. Let's just fix the fucking camera. So that's what we're gonna do. Actually, everything is going to ship. The streams ease the stress. Okay, well there you go. I guess. Fuck. We appreciate you, Josh. The fact that you're here at Screams Volume, our name of doom. Hey, thanks, man. Yeah, we're gonna, you know, we'll hit our mark today. We'll do the best that we can, and then we'll just reassess. At the end of the day, we'll go back to the shitty camera for a couple of weeks, get it fixed. It'll be fine before you know it. It is just that in this current moment, it has been a very frustrating couple of days. Look, man, you know what part of it is too? And I'm not trying to be like fucking ego monster about this, but I feel really good. I feel like I'm making incredible content. I feel like I'm fucking cooking. I feel like I'm in my goddamn prime. And I also feel like a lot of other people are falling off. And I also feel like media's changing. I also feel like we're about to... I feel so fucking... I just want to fucking do... I just want to get out there and do my thing. I just want to do my thing. None of this. All of this, not my thing. This is not my thing. Okay, this is my thing. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I want to talk to Mando and Grogu, Josh. I believe it will not flop, and it will hit 500 million worldwide against the $166 million budget. Well, that would be great. That would be... I would feel good about that. I don't necessarily think I'd walk away from that being like, yo, Star Wars is back. But I got to tell you, that's better than a lot of scenarios that I think could be coming for that film. So, yeah, that'd be good. Was there a nerd theory last night? No, there's not a nerd theory this week. We should be back next week. Which, honestly, probably best. Because if this stuff would have been going on, like, I've had a very difficult couple of days. I feel like the news is going to set him off. What? Set me off? Hire somebody to help with equipment so you focus on the stuff that you want. Yeah, that's a brilliant idea. Adam! It's a great idea. Just stumbled in. Wish a good morning to you all. Appreciate it, Pizza Lion! Hire a local AV guy, small flat rate. Yeah, for sure. Vince, I understand and I appreciate the help, guys. Look, the energy from you guys is just like, hey, we can tell Josh is... not dealing well with all this, so we just want to help. Totally get it. And I appreciate the sentiment. Josh, I hope your day gets better. Thank you, man. Hey, Josh, have you seen the new Rockstar's video where they were complaining about not having any Doomsday or Spider-Man content? It's insane. LMAO. I actually didn't see that video. That's kind of interesting, though. So what are they saying? That, like... What are they? I don't understand the point. They're just, the movie's like it's like you're talking about a summer movie and a movie that'll come out next Christmas. Yeah. And by the way, I'm actually having the opposite problem over here, where there's so much I want to talk about Doomsday and Spider-Man, and there's just like a lot going on. I would like to make more videos. You know what I mean? They were complaining there's no promo yet. Well, you know, we'll talk about that because, you know, this whole thing with the poster and everything's pretty crazy, and it sort of ties into some stuff we've talked about in the past. And again, there's a possibility, although I don't know how real it is, but there's a possibility that both Marvel trailers will drop in the next couple of weeks here for Fire and Ash, right? Avatar, that's what they were saying. So that would be crazy. If this was audio only, I'd still tune in. Yes, I appreciate it. Thank you. Where's the poop music? Well, that's another thing is I actually don't know. I can't hear the music at all. You know, it's like falling down a set of stairs with computers and shit like that, which is, again, like, I just want, like, we got all this AI. Everybody's afraid of AI. Can the AI just figure all this shit out? Like, what the fuck? I swear to God, man, it's going to be 5-10 years from now. They're going to invent like UBI. All of you guys are not going to be working, which, like, let's be honest, like, some of you are technically at work, but you're not working. Let's be real. All of you guys are not going to have jobs, and yet somehow I'm going to be in this fucking room or a similar one, and I'm going to have to work. I just know it. I can feel it. I can feel the other shoe about to drop. Yeah. You don't say that. So, hopefully, at least at that point, the AI can make this job a little bit easier. You better have this shit figured out by then. I know, right? Fuck. All right, anyways. Let's get into some stuff. Let's get into some stuff here. Let's try to have a couple of topics at least. And then I'm going to get out of here and try to fix all of these problems again. Fruitlessly. Okay, so. Okay. So we got to talk about DC James Gunn. Man of Tomorrow. Crazy stuff going on. Lanterns, drama. There's actually a good bit of stuff to talk about when it comes to DC, okay? So the first thing is there's reporting, and I want to pull this up for you because it's kind of interesting. I saw that Charles Murphy covered this, and he had a pretty good take on it, actually. So let me pull this up for you here. Cool. So, okay, cool. Just, okay, cool. Yeah, okay, great. Okay, cool. No problem. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, cool. Okay, great. Okay. All right. Okay, cool. Okay. James Gunn, post Warner Brothers sale fate reportedly sealed. This is over on murphysmultiverse.com. With Warner Brothers Discovery up for sale, an inch of uncertainty amounts to future of the studio's major brands has turned into a mile of bullshit. I like that. Paramount has long been seen as the frontrunner to seal a deal to acquire Warner Brothers Discovery and all companies under its umbrella, including Cartoon Network, CNN, DC Studios, and HBO. And recent article claimed that if the deal were going through, Paramount CEO David Ellison would seek to oust James Gunn, head of the still new DC Studios. Okay, so there was some reporting. I speculated on this. I wonder if he's talking about the Chuck Dixon thing. What is he talking about here? Is he talking about Chuck Dixon? What's he talking about here? Oh, wait a minute. What is this? This is from GQ? Right now, there's actually 2 really cool film scripts taking the next level, generational plans. I'm excited for both those. Gunn told GQ, I'm excited for the TV project, where we're greenlit. Figured a budget, a couple of things very present ahead. I don't understand this. So he's saying, according to CNN, he must have linked the wrong article or something. I don't understand this. Paramount CEO would seek to oust James Gunn, but then when you click through the article, it's literally saying that there's a GQ article saying that they'll keep him and he has all these other plans. I don't know what that's about. Anyway, according to Bloomberg, should Paramount complete the purchase, Ellison plans to keep much of Warner Bros. Discovery Inc. intact. More relevant to the rumor of Gunn's departure, Ellison is said to want to keep the creative teams of the 2 studios, which would include, one might assume, Gunn and DC Studios co-chair Peter Safran. Okay, so that's the new bits, guys. There's news that came out from Bloomberg, because remember, this is like an ongoing, developing story, and there's a lot of unknowns. We don't even know if there will actually be a sale, although I tend to believe that there will be. But there's a lot of questions about what will happen if this sale goes through. And so you have a lot of speculating parties, and there's been a lot of really good reporting. There's all kinds of people taking all kinds of different angles and trying to decipher, what are the different parties trying to do? Is this a bidding war? How interested are these other parties really? And there's all this stuff with like the Trump administration. Trump and the Ellison seem really cozy. It kind of seems like the deal is almost being pressured to be Warner Brothers getting bought by Paramount, and then the Trump administration approves it, right? So there's been a lot of different reporting. Well, the newest bit here, which come from Bloomberg yesterday, and almost eerily felt like a response to some of the speculation that was out there, including speculation by myself about how Gunn would likely be ousted. And I did see other people share this opinion. I didn't always share this opinion. I'm not saying this like I know anything. This is all speculation. But based on a lot of the reporting that's come out, as far as the motivations for the Ellisons, I was starting to believe that, like, if they're going to do this, they're going to make big moves. And I just don't know that they're going to keep playing with all of the stuff that Warner had established with Gunn. That was my speculation, okay? So almost in response to that, Bloomberg comes out with this report that suggests that the plan is to keep much of Warner Bros. Discovery intact and to keep the creative teams of the two studios. And Charles says here, you would assume that would be Gunn and Safran, right? But here's what he says next. He says, that's all putting the cart before the horse, however, as Warner Bros. Discovery has thrice denied Paramount's bid to buy the company, and there's just plenty of opposition in Hollywood outside of the sphere of influence. Concerns about the potential monopoly have been raised as well. Should it all go down, however, Gunn recently confirmed his plan for the all-new, all-different DCU definitely go significantly further than Man of Tomorrow, which is scheduled for a 2027 release. Certainly aware of the impact of the potential changes at the top, however, Gunn recently cast doubt on whether or not he'd be able to bring all of his plans to fruition. So whether or not that'd be me that's able to fulfill the promise depends on a lot of things in life, he recently told Boba Talks. And this was an interview, and this was a little clip that did kind of get put out there, go a little bit viral, because a lot of people were saying, like, if you look at how Gunn answered this, he's kind of admitting that his future is uncertain, right? And I think that's fair, you know, and I think that's why Charles reported this. I think that a lot of people took what was said in that Boba Talks interview and reported the same thing. So what Charles is saying here, and I'm just going to tell you, like, because this has become sort of a mudslinging fan war issue, and a lot of people are really upset at the prospect of Gunn being fired or the DCU going away or whatever, and they're holding that Bloomberg report from yesterday in like really, really high esteem. And they're claiming, and they're sort of saying that the Bloomberg report is proof positive that the DCU is here to stay, that Gunn is here to stay, and that everything is fine. And I mean, you probably could tell where I'm going to go with this, because I don't agree. You know what I mean? I just don't agree. And I think everything that I said yesterday still stands. Here, or I guess Monday. Here's what I'll say in addition to that, though. I think the Bloomberg reporting, and I think also just a lot of reporting in general around this right now, is not so much reporting the truth. It is reporting to try to quell concerns, to maybe smooth out some rough edges, to push this deal away or to push this deal into being. Okay? And I've noticed, and this is not just this week, but just in general over the last couple of years, right? The Hollywood trades will often report things in such a way to sort of push narratives. And recently, I think even just yesterday, the Hollywood trades, I believe it was The Wrap that was sort of the pushing force on this, but other Hollywood trades ran with it as well. I think Variety ran with it, that Paramount is firing 1,000 people. Okay, so they're downsizing, they're firing 1,000 people. Now, that's also in the sea of like a lot of layoffs. Amazon's doing like 30,000 people. Like, it's crazy. Like, I actually pulled up, and let me see if I can find this for you. This list is scary. You should take a little peek at this. UPS laid off almost 50,000 people. Amazon to lay up 30,000. Intel 24. Nestle 16,000. Ford 11,000. Microsoft 7,000. Salesforce 4,000. Paramount's all the way down at 11th with 2,000 employees. Not to say that that's not a big deal, but like that's the reality of like the economy, right? Like that's what's actually going on out there. It's scary, right? Very scary times. But, you know, number 11 there got a whole bunch of special reports out of the Hollywood trades specifically to try to damage Paramount and to damage the ability of this deal moving forward. I think there's parties in Hollywood that see Paramount and see the Ellisons as a serious threat to the status quo and to the way that Hollywood is just doing its thing, which is like the whole point. Like that's everything I brought up on Monday. That's actually why I think that, yes, there will be massive changes. And that's why I think the WGA is pushing so hard. That's why the trades yesterday pushed so hard to try to make Paramount look so bad when all of these other companies are laying off so many other people, right? So you can kind of see what I think is a big game being played. And ultimately, I think Gunn knows what it is. That's why he said what he said to Boba. I mean, I think he knows what it is. So you're going to hear a lot of reporting. And a lot of this reporting is not necessarily in this moment actually telling you anything accurate. It's kind of signaling. It's trying to start narratives. It's trying to put out fires. It's trying to push up stock prices. Like this right now, when a big merger like this is looming and when the industry itself is in such a turning point, it's moments like these where you have to be extra cautious of what is being fed to you. Like what is being said out there? How much of that can you actually trust in this moment is, I think, not a lot. Now, the good news is a lot of this is just, I don't know, it's like an exercise of futility because we're going to know, I think, rather soon. I, of course, like speculating. There's nothing wrong with speculating and trying to figure out what's going on. But for now, it's just speculation. I think that ultimately we're going to know soon within the next couple of weeks. And I think a lot of the reporting that's been going on at this time period could basically just be thrown out. Once we actually arrive at the sale or no sale, whatever it is, we'll have a good idea of it. And I think we'll realize that a lot of the reporting of the last couple of months has been off, to say the least. So that's my take on it, guys. And look, I'm not trying to be mean because the thing is this. I actually want Gunn to stick around. I'm not in love with a lot of what he's doing. And I think, we're going to get into some stuff here about Clayface, some of these other things. It's like, this is not, I mean, I just don't think it's going super well, but I also don't necessarily want to restart. I don't necessarily trust that the next person that takes over will be as much of a comic book fan as Gunn. I think the DCU could still absolutely work, but I'm also just trying to be honest. Like, it didn't win so obviously that you would assume it would continue. Like, that's my point. That's like, to put a fucking bow on it, that's what I'm saying. Good enough, but unfortunately good enough when crazy things are happening and the entire industry is being rethought of and billionaires are trying to buy up and reshape, Hollywood itself. I just think a lot of these rules, a lot of the assumptions kind of go out the window, So that's what's going on at a base level with, Gunn and all that sort of stuff. Now, there's a couple of other things going on here. There was a leak with regards to the villain for Man of Tomorrow. This came out as an exclusive over on Nexus Point News. It's heavily pointing at Brainiac, okay? And, look, that's cool. I'm excited for Brainiac. I'm excited, I guess if we get this movie, I would be excited to see Luthor and Superman team up and eventually fight against Brainiac. That could be really cool. That's kind of happening and breaking now, and I can't help but feel as though they're trying hard to just get this movie into production as fast as possible, okay? Because what the sources are saying here is that they're actually doing makeup and prosthetics already. So remember how fast Gunn did that fucking script, man? Like, do you remember how fast he was like, oh, yeah, we're going. You know what I mean? A lot of that is, I think, to combat what's going on. And I think Gunn basically, and you can kind of read in between the lines of the answer that he gave Boba Talks again. And he's kind of admitting that, he at least solidified that he'll do this next one, which I don't even know if he will, by the way. But from his perspective, he's doing this one, and he got it going hella quick. And that's why he feels he's doing this, and that's why he feels maybe he won't do the future, but he's doing this. Okay, very interesting. Again, partially just on the fan side, because it's like, oh, this could be Mongol. Some people are saying that's cool. Very likely to be Brainiac, confirming a lot of what we thought. But I also think from the production perspective, it's very interesting. Like, dude, they're going fast. And I think it feels, it's desperate. It's definitely desperate. But again, maybe desperate. It makes sense, given this current situation. Okay, now, here's the other thing we got to talk about. And there's a lot of DC stuff. We're kind of cramming it all into one section here, one clip, okay? But I sort of smell another potential issue for the DC Cinematic Universe, and it has to do with Green Lantern. So I want to show you this here, okay? This is comments made by I believe it's the writer or the director of the show. And he had a really interesting quote that's kind of going viral right now, and some people are upset about it. He describes Lanterns as much a buddy cop show as a superhero show. Our show is, in a lot of ways, about replacement. When should someone step aside? And when is it time for the next person to take the reins? Okay, so we'll talk about that. But I want to show you that this is a Reddit person that's been very, very positive on the DCU and has been very positive on Gunn. And this person is literally posting this here, saying, I'm about to do a complete 180 on this entire universe if this happens. Okay? So I want to explain, because I see the iceberg. I want to explain and I want to show you the iceberg. I want to talk about why and how we could be overreacting to this and how it could actually work. But, guys, winning solves a lot of problems. And when you're not winning, every little problem can become a mountain instead of a molehill. And this situation right here, like, Gunn probably didn't expect the backlash to the Peacemaker finale that he got. Frankly, I didn't even expect it. But what that means to me is sort of a death by 1,000 cuts situation. And I watched this happen in Star Wars. I've watched this happen in a lot of different fandoms. When fans start to get just a little bit irritated and it doesn't feel like things are popping and you're not winning, it really does start to turn. And I've seen another thing that's happened, a sort of moment of memes for the DCU, where a lot of people, and maybe you guys have seen these memes too, where people are saying like, I missed summer, I had hope for 2 weeks, talking about DCU. That's a legit meme that's like starting to go around because I think partially because Peacemaker was such a letdown, but I think also because like there's just nothing going on. There's no news, there's no updates, like there's nothing going on. And the things we do get are literally the person being like, "Oh, it's about replacement. When should you step aside? Maybe like first time in the new universe? Get out of here. Step aside. You're being replaced." You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to tell you that there's an iceberg on the horizon. Okay, so what could this mean? What could be going on here? Well, there already are a lot of rumors that Hal Jordan is on the way out, maybe retiring, and he's being replaced by Jon Stewart. Now, there were some old leaks that indicated that actually Jon has his ring. That there's only one ring in the show. Which, by the way, in the official promo, there's only one ring you can see. Kind of interesting. Now, those leaks indicated that there would only be one ring, and that it's actually Hal's ring. But Hal is no longer a Lantern. And in fact, it's now Jon's ring. Okay? And the whole idea was Jon's now the new Lantern. He has Hal's ring, and that's just what it is. And Hal's there trying to figure out stuff as a civilian, but there's going to be some moments where, like, he hands the ring back to Hal because Hal is Hal fucking Jordan, and he can do all kinds of crazy shit, okay? Now, on the one hand, this could just be the dynamic of the film, or of the show, rather, and it's not necessarily the case that Hal will be gone from the main continuity after this. Okay, that's what a lot of people are really concerned about. That's frankly what it is. And so I just want to be fair to Gunn. I want to be fair to the DCU. I want to be fair to everybody involved here. Just because the show is about replacement, and just because Jon is replacing, I mean, that's how I read this. Jon is replacing Hal in the show. It does not necessarily mean that Hal is gone completely. Hal can come back. Hal can still play a huge role in the DCU, and I hope that he does. Because I fucking love Hal Jordan. But that's the point. Because when you cast Kyle Chandler as a 60-year-old Hal Jordan, and then you cast Jon Stewart as, I mean, how old is Aaron Pierre? I don't know. Probably late 20s, maybe 30s. And then your guy comes out and says replacement. Look, man, I can't help it. It looks like you're about to replace Hal Jordan as the Green Lantern before the DCU even fucking starts. And you might, like, that's a choice. That is a choice. And I can understand why you might want to do that. But I'm telling you right now, I think you're going to find a lot of fans like this Reddit person here that have literally been riding with your ass the entire time and have been trying to be super chill about this. And it's just going to take one little fuck up like this, bud. And they're done. And like, dude, really hope that's not what they're doing. You know? Really hope that's not what they're doing. I really hope that Hal is there and that he's a big part of it. I mean, Hal Jordan is like, if you're not a DC person, it's kind of like hard. It would maybe be hard to like explain this, but like Hal Jordan is the greatest Green Lantern that has ever been. That's his thing. That's his thing. That's why the Parallax thing was so crazy. Like, that's why, like, Hal's the best. He has the strongest will. That's his thing. So it's hard to imagine enjoying a Justice League, enjoying a Crisis level event, enjoying all of the DC stuff that I want to enjoy, and not having Hal Jordan be a part of it. I'm telling you right now, that would upset me and would upset a lot of other people. So that's something that's going on. I mean, again, I'm trying to be fair here. We don't know exactly what it means. But my assessment is like, dude, the DCU, not going well, period. It's just not going well. And I don't know, maybe some of you somehow believe that it is going well. You're wrong. Stay under the blanket. It's probably nice and warm under there. But you're wrong. This shit is not going well. And yes, this shit could be over in a matter of months. I don't like a lot of the things they've done. I don't like the idea that Hal won't be the Green Lantern. I don't like geriatric Justice League members. I don't like going from Superman into Supergirl into Clayface. Even if Machete puts a Batman in there, which could be interesting. I don't like this shit, dude. This is not popping off. So that's the concerns. That's the news. That's what's going on with the DCU. Chat. What do you think? What do you think of this? And I know I missed a bunch of supers. Let me catch up on the supers, ladies and gentle beings. Ladies and gentle beings. Love the video yesterday. Your Doom theory is peak. Appreciate you, Josh. I bet Apple gets WB, not Paramount, despite Trump. Well, I think Apple and Trump pretty friendly too. C-Swerve says, Campia on his show yesterday said his sources in Paramount told him Gunn is safe. Yeah, I mean, like, but think about what that means. That just means somebody at Paramount believes that Gunn is safe. I bet there are a ton of people at Paramount that think that Gunn is safe. I don't know that that actually means that Gunn is safe. You know what I mean? Look, guys, if you want to hard and fast believe that Gunn is fine, by all means, believe that. I don't believe that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what else to tell you. I don't believe that. Twinkus, what the fuck? Hey, man, go watch the epic movie IMAX. RRR. Oh, yeah, you did tell me about this. Okay, appreciate you. Yeah, maybe I will, man. Thank you so much. Tribal Chief says, it's amazing how you spin anything negative about the DCU. It's honestly impressive. Tribal Chief, I have no idea what you're talking about, but also thank you very much. Al Patrickson says, if I may, Josh, I think Disney will still be the #1 Hollywood studio in 2025. In America and the world by year's end via Zootopia 2, proving the haters' claims that the company is... Okay. How's that tracking? Do we have box office tracking for Zootopia 2 yet? Let's see. Because I'm curious about that one. Didn't they just drop some trailers? Might be a little too far out. AI don't buy tickets. Okay, there is some long range. Box Office Pro has some long range. Okay, so yeah, it's claiming to maybe open at, let's pull this up. Long range forecast. Domestic opening range, 95 million to 110. I mean, that does feel like a good opening, for sure. I guess it kind of depends on the legs, right? That is a pretty good opening, though. Look, if Avatar 2 pops off and Zootopia 2 pops off, Disney's going to be like, whoo! You know what I mean? So they better hope it does. All right, let me catch back up on some stuff here. Tell the Truth says, it's literally just Hal Jordan stands. They've been complaining about the show being focused on Jon Stewart. This is a non-issue. Well, I would imagine you're probably not a Hal Jordan fan then. I mean, it's clearly an issue, man. It's clearly an issue. Now, you could argue it's just an issue for those people, and that's fine. What, those people aren't fans? You know what I mean? Like, dude, don't do the stupid fan thing. You know what I mean? Oh, no. Hal Jordan? Let's be serious. It's just people that like Hal Jordan. What a bunch of weenies. Like, as though the guy isn't the guy and the primary character of the majority of great Green Lantern stories. Like, what are you talking about? That's so silly to me. No, it's just fans of, like, the most iconic Green Lantern. It's just, like, silly simp fans of, like, the most prolific, popular, best-selling, important Green Lantern. What a bunch of pussies. It's crazy. I mean, that's some DC... I'm going to be honest with you. That's some DC shit. If I'm being real, I've been around comics my whole life. That is a really DC thing. You DC fans. Like, the DC fans will be like, actually, Batman's not even that good of a martial artist. And it's like, what the fuck? That's a DC fan thing. It is, you know what? I think they call it in psychology the bigotry of small differences. And it's like it's a big reason that people get sort of hung up. They'll agree on like 90% of shit. And then that 10% thing, they just get super hung up on it. But like, that is a DC fan thing. You guys are crazy, dude. Also, Josh, one more reason why Grogu make 500 million budget, aggressive marketing. Solo never got that. Popular in Asia. That's fair. So Al's bringing up the point that maybe Mando and Grogu has a lot of international appeal. That could be true. That could be true. Two more things. Mando Grogu will be bigger Avengers Doomsday. What? Or it might be a mess. Like, I don't understand what you're saying there, but I appreciate the support. No one cares about Hal Jordan. Jesus Christ. Ultimate Spider-Man incurs with Miles Morales. Issue 1 and 5 feel important to the overall Ultimate Universe. Okay, yeah, I'm way behind on that shit. I'd have to check it out. All right, any other thoughts here? You DC fans all butthurt because I called you on your shit? Clocked you? Because that's you. That's you. John was Green Lantern in Unlimited, so I'm down. I like Jon Stewart. I think you guys are getting it twisted here. You know, it's like there's an orange and an apple, and the apple is old, and it's going away, and it's like, what the hell? And then somebody throws the apple out, and it's like, well, I really wanted the apple. And then people are like, oh, you fucking hate oranges? I guess fuck oranges then, huh, Josh? No, that's like, again, that's you. That's you. You're the twisted up. You're the one that's twisted up. Sorry about Wonder Man and Vision. Look better than Doomsday? Oh, wow, okay. Well, that's very interesting, Al, because there hasn't been a lot of marketing for Doomsday yet. So I can understand why you feel that way. But then again, if you want to throw like $10 more in to clarify it, feel free. I've been saying fuck oranges for years, and now he listens. Jesus Christ. Okay, all right already. Okay, all right, okay. If your Doom theory is true, how soon do you think we'll see the new Iron Man? Who would you cast? I don't know. Who would you guys cast as Iron Man? I'm not good with that shit, man. I'm not good with that shit. Next topic. Oh, thanks, producer Adam. Doing a great job, bud. I know because I saw trailers for both at New York Comic-Con panel. Oh, damn. Okay. Tyan says, Josh, Doomsday seems to be amazing, but isn't there more build-up missing? Shouldn't we have had at least more movie or incursions? There's enough. What do you think the movie about? Yeah, it's a difficult one, man. I think at the end of the day, the movie itself is going to become time runs out. I don't love it. Would have preferred a more slow burn thing. But I'll tell you this, the most recent leaks that are out there, it seems like they figured it out. if it's even close to what the current leaks are, they cooked. And that's basically all you need to know. Hello there. Today is my golden birthday as I'm 29 years old. Feels odd, but also like I'm going to the prime of my life. No Avengers for life. Hey, Corey, my man, huh? 29 years young. You know, I remember when I turned 30, and I think when I was like 24, 25, I was like, oh shit, 30, like that's going to be crazy. And then by the time you get to like 27, you're like, I don't really know that it's going to. And then we get to 30, honestly, it just felt like another birthday. I don't know. It all just blends. But, hey, enjoy this one, though. Enjoy this one. Hope you have a good one. Am I the only nincompoop that would like to see Darkseid done well? I think that comparison ruins him a bit, though. I think the things... Yeah, fair. Steven Seagal, that's probably what Gunn's thinking, too. I think he said as much recently. But, yeah, I'd be into Darkseid, for sure. I'd be into Darkseid. All right, should we talk about Marvel a little bit here? And then let's call it a day. And then let's fix this camera. You know? Like, wouldn't that be great? If everything was good? Are you going to go into the 4chan segment? 4ch segment on Nerd Theory? I would love to. Are you talking about the alien shit? Yeah, but not Monday. But yeah. Is it plugged in? Yes, it's plugged in. Yes, it's all plugged in. Oh, by the way, is New Jersey the new Hollywood? Did you guys see this? Paramount signs 10-year lease with 1888 Studios for New Jersey production campus. I'm going to just say it like this. If New Jersey becomes the new Hollywood, then I was wrong. And we need Hollywood. All right. Okay, cool. Cool. We're all on the same page. That's good. That's good. All right. Okay. Okay. Yeah, sorry, Hollywood. You know, I didn't... You don't know what you got till it's gone. They paved Hollywood to put up some lots in Jersey. Ba, ba, ba. Okay. Everybody shut your mouth. What is Marvel doing? The hell? Disney are currently using an Avengers Secret Wars fan poster that includes Miles Morales at an official upfront in Sao Paulo. The fuck? What? Okay, so it's not just Miles Morales, although that is pretty interesting, of course. It's not just that it's Miles Morales. It is also that's the Beyonder. Okay? And oh my. Windows 11. What the hell is this? What the fuck is going on here? Okay, I'm going to pull up the actual poster for you. So y'all can see this. Okay. So, this is a fan-made poster with fucking Halle Berry Storm, the Beyonder, ripped from Marvel Comics, Gambit, Doom, Miles Morales, Brie Larson's in this. This is crazy. This is so wild to me. And so they're using this at an official thing in Sao Paulo. So what the hell's going on here? Well, a couple of different things that could be going on. These things, although officially Disney, are usually put on by smalling organization teams. Sometimes they'll even use third-party event organizing, people or whatever. And so it's a little bit disconnected from like the official Disney stuff. So if you were to go to like an actual D23 or, a big actual upfront thing in maybe a big market, some of these smaller market things are a little bit more loosey-goosey, I guess you could say. A little bit more like go with the flow, like figure it out. So that's potentially one thing that's going on. Another thing that could be going on is like this is actually being done on purpose, which might seem weird, but recall that the Russo brothers first sent out a bunch of packages to social media personalities like Matt Ramos, Soups, and they actually sent out Boss Logic fan art of Dr. Doom, Iron Man, and like them being the same thing. And when they did that, a lot of folks were like, oh shit, okay, well, this is crazy. This is the first official look. And then it's like, oh no, this is clearly Boss Logic fan art. So what does this mean? Are the Russos sending this out for any particular reason, or is it just mysterious? Is it just to throw us off the scent? Like, what is this, right? Well, remember just a couple of weeks ago, guys, we saw at a similar kind of event, and I think this one was in Shanghai, there was a laser light show. There was the first official look at RDJ's Doctor Doom design with the chainmail and the weird Captain Marvel thing and, you know, all of that, maybe the 10 rings on his arm. Well, when that happened, we had a similar feeling where we were like, what the fuck is this? Like, what is this official? Like, this all feels weird. It's like, it seems like it's official, but I don't know. Well, remember at the time, I believe it was Cryptic HD said that Disney and Marvel are planning to basically do stuff like this, like that event, and sort of drip drop, throw out little random things here and there. And that's how they want to promote Secret Wars and Doomsday, and just be very mysterious and get people like kind of excited and feel that it's going to be epic and awesome. And remember, too, that, like, we don't really have much official in the way for marketing for Doomsday at all. You know, there was a sizzler reel that was played at New York Comic Con, but that was basically sound bites, stuff from the set, and a lot of archival footage of when those actors had played those roles before, a lot of X-Men actors, etc., right? So there's really not been a lot of official marketing for Doomsday in as far as like, oh shit, like that's what it's going to look like, right? So I think this is probably just in a line with the strategy that they've set up, and they're just dropping little things here. And I think they like fan posters and they like doing this all. I would also imagine, frankly, that if the Russos had any input on this, or if anybody at Marvel proper had any input on the poster or on what this was, I think they chose this one to throw people off the scent. Because number one, I don't think Miles Morales is in this thing. Number two, I don't think the Beyonder's in this thing. Number three, I don't even know if Storm is in this thing. And number four, I don't even know if Captain Marvel's in this thing. Okay? So all of the other characters I would imagine are in the Doomsday movie. I don't know that they would be in Secret Wars, especially looking like this. So this poster just feels like all sorts of off, all sorts of wrong, and I think it's misdirection. I also think it's kind of wild that, like, we might have had some of the biggest, actual, most accurate leaks yet about what they are actually doing with Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom, what the conflicts in the movie actually look like, and then in the days and weeks following that, we're getting some of the most outlandish misdirections possible with official reveals like this. That's where my head is at with this. That's what I think is going on. This is all misdirection. I don't think there's no Beyonder in this thing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think there's any Beyonder in this thing. So that's kind of my take on it. There's one other thing that I'll throw into this segment here that's kind of an addition to this, and it has to do with another leak here. And one of the reasons I want to bring this up is because it ties in to the video I made yesterday. It ties into just generally what is going on with the leaks for Doomsday right now. So this is over on Max Blitz again. It says, Reed Richards, Shuri, and Beast build device to track final incursion, which, let me make sure we get here, yeah, in Avengers Doomsday. This comes from Majestic. Majestic is a new Scooper leaker. This is the person that got access to the Scoopers Discord somehow, some way. And Majestic's been posting a lot of stuff. It's possible Majestic is really connected. And Majestic is the person, by the way, I had a little conversation with Majestic in the DMs. I can't really tell. I want to believe them. I want to believe them. They told me my theory was right. They told me the theory is 100% right. That post that was on the video yesterday comes from Majestic. I feel like I missed that in the video because I was so excited about it. But that's what this is, okay? So, getting into this here, the leak says that the global timer that appears throughout the movie counting down to the final incursion. That's cool, man. That's actually a nice framing device for the film. It adds like a nice tension. The timer is connected to a device built by Reed Richards, Shuri, and Beast that track when realities begin to collapse. That's really cool. In Doomsday, the countdown will appear several times, similar to how Avengers Endgame, Captain America Civil War showed locations on screen. This time it will mark how close the heroes are to the final event. 3 days before Doomsday, 2 days before. I kind of like that shit. That's kind of cool. You'll have Earth 616, Earth 828, Earth 100005 in the X-Men universe, likely real. As previously reported by rumors, Avengers Doomsday will feature 2 final battles. Okay, so now they're just kind of going through a lot of the other stuff here. Okay, but here's like the point I'm trying to make. This is why I brought this up here. This Majestic person seems to have like a ton of information, and it's possible that unlike some of the other scoopers, which I think actually technically play nice with Disney, sometimes throw us off the scent, maybe even throw Kevin Feige and Kathleen Kennedy under the bus so that Bob Iger doesn't get blamed. Like, I'm really starting to think that these scoopers and leakers, most of them are like a little too pro-Disney, to be honest. And I don't think this person is. I think Majestic is like maybe actually either a hacker or legit figured out all the info, like has the actual source that's not connected to any pro-Disney person and that just knows. And so if we hear anything that Majestic has talked about get hinted at by some of these other scoopers or insiders, I think it's pretty fair and safe to say that the Doctor Doom theory is correct. Now, that takes us to the final part of this little video here, and then I definitely want to get into the chat here and see what you guys are thinking. So, if this is real, if Majestic is onto it here, then my theory was correct about Doctor Doom. Okay? And again, the TLDR on that is that RDJ's Tony Stark was a Victor Von Doom variant the entire time. And that in the recreated multiverse, after the multiversal war, He Who Remains made Victor Von Doom on the sacred timeline become Tony Stark. And I don't know. I mean, maybe it's not exactly that. Like, maybe that just happened, but he still blames He Who Remains or whatever. But essentially, like, that is what Majestic is talking about, and that's, like, been the theory that I've been talking about, and I think there's a lot of evidence to support it. So, with all of that in mind, I mean, where are you guys at with this? Because I think when I first started talking about this theory, people were dead set against it. I think a lot of people said there's no way. And then, honestly, the more and more stuff that came out, because there's just, like, little things here, little things there, a little leak here, a little rumor here. Literally every single thing that has come out works towards the theory. The only thing that doesn't work towards the theory is My Time to Shine Hello saying that it's not real. And I'm telling you right now, I think she's a liar. She's either being lied to herself or she is out here lying specifically to throw people off the scent. Because if it is out there, like, let's think about it like this, chat. This is maybe the biggest secret ever. If they're actually doing this big of a retcon, and this is actually going to be this crazy, then Marvel is like definitely does not want people to know about this. Disney definitely does not want people to know about this. Do you remember when Jeff Snyder's sources legitimately lied to his face? He had the RDJ Doctor Doom thing. He took it to his Marvel sources. They lied to his face. So the rules have changed. People are playing different. I think this is real. I feel very strongly that this is real, that my theory was correct. So with that in mind, what do you guys think about this? Go look at the super chat. Okay, but you should just put the super chats in when I'm actually looking at the chat. Alan Ritson needs to either be in the MCU or the DCU as the main IP. He would be amazing as Batman, although I love Pattinson. He would also be great as Cap. Oh, dude, he'd be crazy as Cap, actually. Yeah. I like the dude. I would like him as Batman. Maybe the person that replaces Gunn will hire him as Batman. Piatti Diddy says, I know it's a meme now, but what does Doom sound like? My name is Doom. Can you explain story-wise why superheroes fighting alternate versions to the death is supposed to stop incursions? I'm generally confused. Looks cool, though. Can you explain why fighting alternate versions to death is supposed to stop incursions? Yeah, so in the comics, it's because if you destroy the other Earth, the incursion just literally stops. So I don't know exactly how they're going to make it work in the movies, but like in the comics, it was pretty simple. These worlds are colliding. If you don't stop the collision, both universes are destroyed. Billions, trillions of lives get destroyed. If you destroy one of the Earths, which would kill billions, you save trillions of lives because the other Earth survives, and so do all of the planets in both universes. Right. So it's assumed that something like that will be going on in the film. Yeah. I think you're like 75 to 80% right. Yeah, that could be. Yeah. How does your theory connect Doom to Reed Richards? Because Doom and Reed Richards just lived out a regular, normal life. Like they just existed as Doom and Reed. And then at some point, Doom either starts to have the memories of his old life or full on discovers that his life was a lie. So that's why like Marvel and all these people can just say like, oh no, he's just Victor Von Doom. Do you understand? Would make sense about RDJ sticking around post Secret Wars. Yes, it would. Yeah. That don't make sense. Well, I'm not sure if anything would make sense to the monkey giraffe. But if you tell me what part doesn't make sense, I could try to explain it to you better. Can you explain that buyout is a soft reboot or hard reboot or who buys who? Which buyout are you talking about? You talking about the DCU? The DCU, I mean, guys, we don't know. Everybody's speculating. Everybody's trying to figure out what's going on with the DCU. That's like the whole point is like that people don't know. I bet we think Doom pulls out Captain America's skeleton. Oh, that would be crazy. So that means Doom is never defeated, LOL? Well, he's defeated, but then just restored. It's just like Secret Wars. Like, he loses, Reed wins, restores the multiverse, but then he just restores Doom into that multiverse. He actually fixes his face, too. Which is pretty crazy. The first pretender with the $20 holla says, hard time seeing a path to Stark being a variant of Doom being successful and accepted by audiences. RDJ as Iron Man, seen in many circles as the most genuine genius casting in history, suddenly was never actually Stark. Puzzling. Yes. Well, remember, too, that the Russos said this thing, and they actually stopped saying this, but they said it around the time when it was all being announced. They said several times that they wanted to challenge the audience. Do you guys remember this? Let me see if I can find the quotes. They said, we want to challenge the audience. Can you find the quote? See if I can find the exact quote, but that's their, I mean, guys, I'm just like, that's totally fine if you see that. And I would say to you, yeah, obviously, that's why it's bold. Right? So there's just like this thing where like, like you're not wrong, but I guess you're missing that's the point. That they didn't want to just return and do another Avengers thing. Yeah, let me see if I can find them. I think we're always looking at new faces, but there are always new stories to tell. I think these movies are going to surprise people. We found a way into the story that's very exciting to us, but we think very radical. And I think it's going to challenge audiences. Joe Russo. We found a way into the story that we think is going to be challenging for audiences. It's challenging for us to execute. And it's really exciting for us. It gets us out of bed. Joe Russo. Absolutely. We want to beat those younger versions of ourselves. We have to be, right? Because we have to outdo those movies in a way, or at least we have to take you on an equally engaging journey. Like, guys, I don't know what else to say. I've said it before. We just want the Avengers to fuck up some dudes and call it a day. The whole universe doesn't need to end. Yeah, but that's not even true. That's not even true. Like, I reject that completely. And by the way, even the people that actually think that's what they want, there's this thing like, so, okay. When it comes to fan service, right? If you do too much fan service and you just do like the obvious fan service, it loses its appeal. Okay. And I forget who said it, but there was like a really good writer that said one time, what you need to do is give the audience what it didn't know it wanted. If you just give the audience what it wants, like if the audience just says, like this dude just said, I just want the Avengers fighting Doom or whatever, right? That's what they say. If you just do that, you're actually failing as the storyteller. Because the real challenge is to give the audience what they want, but you have to give them what they didn't know they wanted. That's how you create good art. That's how you do something novel. That's how you break the mold. And like, the thing is, everybody is sitting back with this RDJ thing, and they're saying it's a money grab. It's like break glass in case of emergency. It's like, you know, there's nothing about it that's interesting, right? If what I'm talking about is happening, it was actually never that. It was actually like always the biggest retcon ever. The most successful franchise, a franchise that has 10 more movies than the fucking James Bond franchise. The biggest movie franchise of all time, taking its biggest character ever and retconning it in a way that will shock the world. And frankly, I don't know how many other scenarios there are left for Marvel that they could even shock the world. This would be insane. And you have to admit that it would be insane. That's what makes it so exciting. Listen to their words. Doesn't that track with how they think of the story? Holy crap, I hadn't realized I've been a member this long. Been such a great journey through the past almost 5 years. John Johnston, appreciate you, man. Holy. Thank you. Okay, so your theory is good, but what do you think is the second most likely theory that you wouldn't be surprised they did instead? Doom stealing phases to trick the Avengers? Yeah, so it would be that... so it's just like a softer version of it, basically. So if they do this, I think it would actually kind of suck, where basically they're going to explain that the multiverse itself is like basically they would explain the Ralph Boner thing a little bit by saying that essentially Ralph is a variant of a Quicksilver, but when the multiverse was scrambled up and made, he was just a regular guy here, and the other dude was Quicksilver. Meaning that we're still taking basically the ingredients of like eternity or fixed moments in time and shit like that, and you just shake the box up and it goes random. And basically that like random as fuck, he's an Iron Man looking Doctor Doom or something like that. And I would hate it. Like, look, there's literally no other good explanation for me. Every single other explanation is bad. They're all bad. He takes Iron Man's face, terrible. They just randomly look the same, like the Deadpool joke with Chris Evans, terrible. No explanation whatsoever, terrible. Like, all the other ones are so much worse. Like, what explanation do you guys think that it is? Yeah, every other explanation sucks ass. Like, oh, there's no connection whatsoever? Terrible. Then get somebody else. Which, by the way, it isn't even true, because Russo said the only person that could play Doom in their story was Downey. That's what they said. Yeah, he's just Doom for no reason. Yeah, that would be terrible. I will criticize that heavily. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. I think it's smart making Doomsday a sequel to Endgame. Yes, it is. It's very smart. Yep. Maybe they have Mephisto show Doom his other life was supposed to be. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. He ate a bad Cheeto and changed his face. Yeah, exactly. Terrible. Fans and general audiences would hate it. Yeah, but so like that's what makes it bold, right? Like, I'm sorry, like that is... So if you say this thing and you're like, wow, that's kind of a cool fucking idea, and then your next thought is, oh, but it would be like really hard for audiences to get on board. Like audiences wouldn't like that. Like, guys, I'm sorry. Some of the greatest stories ever told have done things like that. An example that comes to mind is Berserk. Okay, so Berserk, the manga itself, it had it's actually really interesting. Berserk actually starts off in the sort of present with Guts, and then it goes into a flashback that shows his time with the Hawks. Okay, if you know, you know. But just walk with me on this. I'm making a point. So when Berserk the manga started adapting that arc with the Hawks, it actually became incredibly popular. It was a great story, a lot of really fun characters. People loved it. So the mangaka takes it to a place called the Eclipse. And it was this absolutely brutal event where all of those friends and all of the people you just followed along in this incredible arc are all sacrificed to literal demons to give the main character or one of the main characters demonhood. It was brutal. It was shocking. It was savage. People hated it. People were furious. People rioted. People wrote all kinds of emails. People boycotted the manga. But eventually, people eased up. Eventually, people started to see it for what it was. One of the boldest, most incredible, long-form, slow-burn payoffs to an epic story that had ever happened. You have to sometimes turn your back on the audience to conduct the orchestra. So, I say, do it. I say shake it up. I mean, what else do we want? Do you really want Marvel to just be like, oh, we just kind of did some cool Avengers movies with RDJ? That's not what I want. I want them to be like, oh, we actually split it open, flipped it on its head, challenged the audience, recontextualized everything. That's what I want. That's what I'm hoping for. Steve McTee says, Josh, I just had a vision. Doom will see Tony's death in Endgame. Dream like Doctor Strange in MOM. And this starts his journey into the multiverse. Something like that could very well be happening because we do know that they receive dreams of the other people in the multiverse. So absolutely, that could be what's going on, yeah. Jason says, people who think this is just a money grab are missing context. Why would the Russos risk their Marvel legendary status and come back after beefing with Disney? Yeah, I agree. Seems a worthy risk for a proper shared universe. Yeah, I think so. What led you on to the adoption theory? It was several things, but really, it was that first comments the Russos made. Like, basically, those first comments the Russos made about how it had to be Downey just never left my brain parts. And I was like, no, it obviously had to be Downey for a reason. And so then I kind of like just reverse engineered, like, what could that reason possibly be? Because remember, a lot of people at the time, like, I remember Rob had a video that popped off for like 1 million views. And he was talking about how they did like the body swap stuff. And like, people really believed that. And I was just always like, no fucking way. Like 0% chance that they're going to do that, So, yeah. And you could check the tapes. You could check the posts on social media. I had this theory before basically everybody. And also, too, some of those videos have like 500,000 views. So you cannot tell me that some of the channels or some of the people on social media that are now talking about this theory, you cannot tell me that they didn't see my 500,000 view video in this Marvel niche about the most interesting theory about the biggest thing that Marvel's doing. Get fucked, bro. Of course I had that shit before y'all. Of course. Because, frankly, I'm actually really good at this part of the job. Like, really good. Not saying I'm right here. Think I'm right. I feel I'm right. But yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. And I'm also the most humble, too. Can I just put that out there? Like, on top of all of these other incredible things about me, I'm also the most humble. It's crazy. Even Campia agrees with your theory? Oh, well, now I don't anymore. Will you accept your award opening weekend for being right? I'll send a representative, yeah. Josh, your theory, content on the MCU is actually so logical. I'm actually scared to watch your content and fear it will come into fruition. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong to think that. Same person that said Rebel Moon was the next Star Wars. Who said that? Beyonder? Love your profile picture too, by the way. Josh, remember that leaked Doomsday concept art? It was reported that Quill is in Vision Quest 2, so those leaks were right. I actually was thinking about doing a whole video on those. Like 1 year later. Let's look at the leaks 1 year later. What do we know now? That'd be a good video, huh? If only I didn't have to spend hours trying to figure out this technical difficulties situation. Unfortunately, Doomsday is too far out, and we'll all forget you were right by the time it comes out. Yeah, probably true, actually. Yeah, fair. Does Tony using the Infinity Gauntlet tie into Doomsday's story? I think so. I have a theory on how that could happen. Yeah. I actually did a big video on it. I think the Tony that's going to fight in the Secret Wars, so in the second movie, maybe it would be the first movie too, but definitely in the second movie, is going to be the Tony from Endgame. Has it really almost been a fucking year since those leaks? Yes, it has. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Actually, I don't know that. I just pulled that out. A year. When did it happen? Might be. Can we talk about Michael Waldron? I'm glad he's happy to write Doom, but boy, Kang Dynasty. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm excited. He made some comments about writing Doom. He's been talking a little bit more about the process. And look, I like Michael Waldron. I said it before. He's good, man. He's good. I haven't seen anybody who likes your adoption theory. It tanked the movie. Oh, really? Well, look in chat, man. There's people that like it. And it's not going to tank the movie. It could tank the next movie. It could tank Secret Wars. But people won't really know until the movie. At least I don't think so. That's actually another question. Do you think Marvel's going to officially reveal what it is? I kind of think they're going to make us wait to figure out the RDJ Doom thing. And at this point, I kind of hope they do too. Because, like, dude, it is a big mystery. Like, what's the deal with this? I hope they don't tell us at all. And then we get in there and we're like, oh, shit. How many of you guys are going to be like, God damn it, Josh was right? Like, so mad. Do you think we'll get a Doom solo movie after Secret Wars? No. You skipped my member chat? Oh, sorry, Philip. Was it about rap? Doing a 12-hour drive. Thanks for the streams, bro. Much love. As always, appreciate you, man. Thank you. Philip says, what comic book story you can think of that the writer giving the audience what they didn't know they wanted? Oh, that's a good question. That they didn't know they wanted. Comic book story that they didn't know that they wanted. I mean, I would argue Hickman stuff does this a lot. I'd have to think of an exact specific example, right? Yeah, the Berserk moment comes to mind because that's like a big one where people are like, yo, like, I don't know about this. You know what's one? I would argue Superior Spider-Man. I would argue Dan Slott's Superior Spider-Man is a thing that audience did not know that they wanted. Because, dude, people were pissed about that shit. Like, people were mad. But I actually think it's some incredible writing. Watching Doc Ock, and then there was like the Ghost of Peter, right? Which, like, the Obi-Wan Peter was a good idea when they start dropping Obi-Wan Peter. But then for Doc Ock to literally realize, like, have you guys read that run? Can I spoil it for you? Because, like, the ending's, like, kind of fucking incredible. Like, the ending's kind of fucking incredible. What happens is Doc Ock genuinely becomes a hero. Not like, oh, he's, like, kind of heroic and shit. Like, no, like, genuinely becomes a hero, genuinely wants to save his friends, genuinely wants to save New York. And he faces a villain that's so powerful that he realizes the only person that can beat this villain is actual Peter Parker in his own body again. Dude, it is cool. It's fucking cool, man. But I remember when the rumors were coming out for ASM 700. Oh, sorry, I spoiled it. When ASM 700 was coming out, people were pissed, dude. So that's an example. I could probably think of more, but that's one. Thanks for the shout out. Been here since Infinity Wars. Doom retcon will be dope. Wish we got Avengers film against Annihilus or 838 Avengers instead of what we got in Phase 4. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. And no problem, man. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. Hopefully we get Annihilus in the next saga, because Annihilus is cool, dude. Annihilus is cool. All right, guys, that's probably going to do it for today. A little bit of a shorter stream, but I'm raging, man. I'm losing it. I got to try to figure this out. I got to tell you, too, I want to do a stream tomorrow. I want to paint Warhammer. I actually want to do a kit bash. I want to paint Warhammer tomorrow. I want to just kick it with you guys and chill. I had this whole thing set up where I had another camera on my hand so I could actually paint. I'm going to try to figure this out. Oh, Visions. If you're a channel member, if you're a member of the Nerd Avengers, we are going to do a watch party for Star Wars Visions tonight at 7:30. So tonight at 7:30, we're going to do a watch party for Visions. I don't know if we'll watch all of them. I want to hit the heavy hitters. How many episodes is it? 6 or something? We could probably watch all of them. But yeah, I'll see you guys tonight, 7:30 for that. It'll probably your FPS output setting set to 60. Brutal. If it was that simple, I would have figured it out days ago. Yeah, but I thought of that. Trust me, I thought of that. But again, appreciate it. Hope your day gets better. Thanks for being here. See you all tonight. Yeah, I'll see you guys tonight for sure, man. And thank you guys for your patience. I'm sorry that it's been a little difficult over these past couple of days. I probably should have just already... I probably already should have just tried to fix the computer or the camera. Like, just send it into Sony. Just pay for it. Just send it into Sony. And that's what we're going to do probably. But anyways, guys, appreciate y'all. Thank you for being here. Much love. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. Man, goddamn music ain't even working. What the fuck? Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Open up your third.